Okay, let's talk about AI and I mean, forget all the sci-fi stuff, right? This isn't about some distant future anymore. It's here, it's now, and it's quickly becoming a must-have tool for small and medium businesses. So really the question isn't if you should be using AI, it's how you should be using it. You know, this quote from Richard Conway, the founder of Pure SEO, just nails it. When you have teenagers and their grandparents picking up the same technology at the same time, well, that's it. That's the tipping point. AI has officially gone mainstream, and that changes everything for every single business owner out there. So, with this massive shift, what does it actually mean for the small and medium businesses that are, the real engine of the Australian and New Zealand economies? Let's dive in and answer that. First up, let's look at the exciting stuff, the promise. Because when you use it the right way, AI can be this incredible growth engine. It can give small businesses the kind of power that until now was pretty much only for the huge corporations. Just think about this for a second. Some businesses, just by using AI marketing platforms, saw a 38% jump in qualified leads. And we're not talking about over a few years. This was in just 3 months. That is a massive boost in potential customers right out of the gate. And it's not just about getting more leads. It's about doing it smarter. We're seeing a 24% drop in the cost to get each lead through paid ads. That means your marketing budget is suddenly working way, way harder for you. You're getting so much more bang for your buck. And then there's maybe the most valuable thing of all, time. Business owners are getting back over 3 hours every single day, all by automating things like follow-up emails and generating responses. I mean, just imagine what you could do with 3 extra hours in your day to think about strategy or talk to customers instead of being buried in admin. And look, this isn't just happening in a few isolated cases. The trend is huge. Data from New Zealand's AI Forum shows it's happening all over the country. A staggering 93% of organizations saw their workers become more efficient, 71% are seeing real savings on operational costs, and more than half are seeing a direct positive impact on their finances. The proof is right there. AI works. This quote from Google's New Zealand country director really drives the point home. There is a serious first-mover advantage here. The businesses that jump on these tools now are the ones that are going to build a major lead on their competition. In this race, sitting on the sidelines is not a strategy. But, okay, it's not all smooth sailing. For every incredible promise, there's a potential risk. And just diving headfirst into AI without understanding the hidden dangers, well, that can expose your business in ways you probably haven't even thought of. So first, let's just get a sense of how widespread this is. AI isn't some fringe thing. New research shows that 58%, that's more than half, of small and medium businesses in Australia are already using AI tools. And because so many are on board, the risks we're about to talk about are incredibly important. And here it is, the first huge red flag. An absolutely shocking 81% of businesses using those free public AI tools are feeding them confidential data. Yeah, we're talking customer lists, private financial details, internal strategy documents, all being typed into public, potentially insecure models. And get this, it's not always an accident. The research shows 1 in every 10 of these businesses knowingly puts their company data at risk of a privacy breach. They know the danger, but they're doing it anyway. That is a massive, massive gamble with their own information and their clients too. You know, the risks aren't just about data security, there's a human cost too. When you compare businesses using secure paid AI with those using free tools, you see this huge gap in employee well-being. People using the proper enterprise tools report a much better work-life balance and way less stress. So cutting corners on your AI tools doesn't just put data at risk, it can actually create a more stressful, less healthy culture for your team. Brad Pulford from HP really sums it all up here. When you rely on those free consumer-grade tools, you get hit twice. First, you're exposing your business to all these unnecessary security threats. And second, you're missing out on the biggest benefits, like better productivity and a happier team. You're leaving all that value on the table. All right, so how do you get all of that promise without falling into the peril? How do you actually use this technology safely and effectively? Well, that brings us to the AI adoption playbook, a really clear, actionable game plan for getting it right. Experts have laid out a pretty straightforward 3-step approach. Step 1, invest in your people. Train them, build their skills and their confidence. Step 2, choose secure enterprise-grade tools, not just the free ones that pop up, especially if you're handling sensitive info. And third, build a governance framework. Now, that sounds complicated, but it's really just about creating simple, clear rules for how AI gets used in your business. So let's look at that playbook a bit closer. It all starts with training. And that's because the data shows the biggest thing holding businesses back isn't money, it's a lack of skills and confidence. In Australia, only 16% of workers feel like they actually know what they're doing with AI tools. That's the gap you have to close. Now, once your team is trained, the next step is choosing the right tools. And here's a simple rule of thumb. If the data is sensitive, the tool can't be free. Simple as that. The paid enterprise solutions have security and privacy built right in. And finally, that third step, governance. This doesn't need to be some 50-page legal document. It can be a simple one-pager that says, here's what data can go into AI, here's what can't, and here are the tools we've approved. That's it. Training, tools, and rules. You get those three right, and you're in a great position. So, what's the big picture here? When you put all of these pieces together, the promise, the peril, and the playbook, a really powerful idea starts to take shape. The true job of AI isn't to replace people. It's to be a human amplifier. And that, right there, is the key takeaway. AI is at its absolute best when it's handling all the repetitive number-crunching tasks. That frees you and your team up to focus on what people do best, building relationships, thinking creatively, making smart decisions, and providing that human touch that no machine can replicate. It takes your best qualities and makes them even stronger. So, the technology is here, the potential is absolutely immense, and the path to doing it right is clear. The only question left is, are you ready to amplify yours?